So for today we will be discussing my EDC tool pouch. So this is the one I usually carry with me in and around town when I'm going to work, when I have something to do in the city and stuff like that. This is the one that's accompanying me at all times. Now with this I usually have this in my pocket, this in my pocket, this in my pocket, and this also in my pocket. So kind of this is what I have with me at all times. These three items are in my pocket regardless what I'm doing and where I'm going, and depending on what I expect or what I have to do or where I'm going, I will add to this. But this is my main core EDC. Then this, when I'm in the city, I have a separate one for when I'm outdoors, and to those I will also add this if I need to do some more significant work. Most of the time I will have this one in and around the property when I have to do some work at home, or when I'm traveling with my van. This is part of the toolbox I have with me at all times. So let's get into it. I'll move away quickly, so just to make sure we know exactly what's here, I will take it apart and pull everything out of it. So I have some measuring device there, small type of ruler, my Leatherman arc, the bit driver, my freestand section there, UV resin, the jigsaw blades, some electrical tape, Leatherman accessories. Actually I should move that on the other side next to the Leatherman. Let's see what else. Some bits, that's what I have with me right now. A spatula, okay, my needle driver or forceps or whatever you want to call it, my electrical tester, a DIY tweezer, and then some writing implements here, a short marker and a pencil, a Leatherman carabiner that also has some other functions, a little bit of wire, some crocodile clips, a small brush, okay. This goes with the saw blade, and what else is here? my chisel set and the screw that I use to transform the Leatherman arc into a Leatherman crunch. So this is pretty much everything that this pouch contains, and just a small elastic band there. Now the pouch itself, it's a Leatherman from an older Leatherman tool. Don't ask me which one because I don't remember, but yeah, so everything fits inside perfectly for me, so this is why I chose that particular one. Now I will try to remove quickly the items that you are more familiar with. The bit kit, it's the bit kit that came with the arc, and I added some extra bits there, plus these ones for just in case I may add something more there, I'm not sure yet. And because here in Canada we use square screw, wooden screws a lot, I have to have a R1 bit that it's a bit more enduring at all times with me, because this is used a lot in furniture and stuff like that, cabinets and everything like that. So when you have to tighten something, that's very useful. So those are the beads I have with me. I have a full bead kit with that, but that's with my outdoor Leatherman. Now this is self-explanatory electrical tape. You may need it if you are used to being in and around electricity. This is very useful. It's good for other things as well. Then something like this I always recommend. This is a small voltage tester. It goes for AC, so it goes up to 250 volts, so it's good on both continents, Europe and USA. I'm not experienced with other continents, so you guys will decide for yourself if it will work, but here this does a very nice job. So if I need to check any outlet to see if I've got power, this is a handy tool to have, very small, and it's always accessible. Now a small Sharpie like this will help you mark stuff if you have to do some work or something, metal, wood, stuff like that. Maybe either the Sharpie or the pencil, it's way better than other things. Then spatula, when I do repairs on electronics and stuff like that, this is very, very handy. For a while I used it as a pry bar for opening cans and stuff like that, but more recently I switched to this one because it gives me a bit more ease of use. So that's something. If I need to have one hand free, I can always connect one clip like that and with the other one do my measurement. If I need to just work with open wires and not with an outlet, they are good for other things as well. If I need to hang something, they can act as mini clamps if I need to keep something stable while I'm working on, and they are very used to have, good to have. They are also insulated, so no risk of electricity, yeah, of injury. Yeah, a small brush that's easy to use on tight spaces. Usually you'll find something to brush with if you have a large open area, but when it's tight, something like this may come very handy at times. A little bit of wire, it's always good to use when you cannot use a plastic cable tie. So you can always improvise a cable tie with some wire if you have to work in environment where, for example, it's very hot and plastic may melt, or maybe subject to chemical abuse and stuff like that. This is handy to have with you always. Something to measure if you do any project with wood. It's always good to have. I find this to be very helpful, especially when I'm shopping for things. I just built my deck last fall, and every time we were going to the store we had to measure lumber, so this came in very handy. The carabiner is pretty simple. It has a bit driver there if I need to put more leverage on something, but usually I'll do that with this. I don't use that much. If I have to hold something still, maybe, but otherwise this is more to hang my pouch if I need to have it accessible and not on my belt. Then the bit driver of choice, this is a bit more useful for me as a screwdriver. So the ratchet driver from Leatherman works very well with this other Leatherman adapter, and this Leatherman adapter also allows me to use the Knipex as a screwdriver if I need to have torque and a bit more power. When I use for example this bit here, yeah, these are impact bits, so they will take abuse. So if I need to work with them, I can put a lot more force like that than I can allow myself to do with this. Yeah, so it's handy to have in this configuration. Also it gives me just a bit more reach. This is from one of those connectors, USB-C connectors or stuff like that you put on cables just to prevent them from being lost. I found that keeps everything together very, very well for me. So that's the story with this. Now this driver, you'll see I have the 711 in there as well, so with two of them combined I can access places and really do some work. Okay, so this is out of the way. Forceps is one of my most used tools in this pouch, because every time I need to pick something from the floor, I used to work in a retail store a lot, and you'll find garbage on the floor dropped by people. You don't know how, especially when they were tissue papers, you don't know what viruses they may carry or not, so it was easier for me to just grab with something like this and then sanitize this with the hand sanitizer I always have in one of my pockets. So this is very useful tool. Plus, if you need to keep something stable or clamp something together, this will actually lock in place and stay there. So that's good as a third hand option. And yeah, this is just a bit of UV resin I keep for repairs. If I need to repair something, I have this, and I have the UV light in here. I have a clip about that. They are always going together. I always have a UV light at least with me, and one UV resin container. So that's that. Then let's see what's left, and I believe we can move. So I'll take this out of the way quickly. If you didn't see how this works, I will quickly show you how this will work on a Leatherman. or on my okay, I need a bit. I tighten it too much there, and now I need to open it. Yeah, I also put some Loctite on this screw so that I won't lose it. And I forgot about that. So this will go in there on that side. Okay, let me have it like that. This go in there, this goes in there. Okay, and now I have a very capable saw that I can use to cut what I need. Mostly in the city will be just 2x4 or 4x4s for different reasons. But I carry with this with me in my pocket just because lots of times I'm going just in the city or at work, and after that we decide to have a short walk, either with the dogs in the forest or just for mushroom picking, and it's always good to have a saw when you go into the woods. Okay, so that's out of the way there. This goes back. I'll get to the modifications I made to the Leatherman shortly. This was one of them. And this little thing lives at the very bottom of my pouch. You see it has a big hole by design, and I found that this little guy fits perfectly in there, and everything goes on top of it. Okay, now this guy will allow me to use my Leatherman as a phone stand if I need to. I'll simulate it with this right now, and that will prevent it from falling on either side. So that's its purpose. Then let's see what else I have here left. We have the tweezers. So if you are familiar how tweezers work, they are connected at one end. Usually you don't need to do anything else, but because these are kind of adjustable, I'm able to do this. So I can move it up and down and create more or less friction there. And now I can use it as a tweezer. The advantage of something like this is that it stores a bit easier. So for me, it's more useful that way. Now let's get this out of the way. I showed this on another, actually 1 or 2 clips. I have a short one and a long version. So you can make the Leatherman arc behave as a Leatherman crunch with just adding this little screw there. So what you'll be doing insert that there, put the spacers, and now if I want to clamp something, let's take this as an example. So if I want to clamp that down, I will just tighten this screw until that's gripped over there. Now the disadvantage is that most of the time you need to leave these implements out, but they are not dangerous, they are not in the way in any way. So if I need to work on something, I also have my tripod from the camera, which I can actually mount just here on the remaining part of the rail, and I'll have a third hand device. Yeah, so this is how that works. I find it to be very handy to have one. I use it a lot, especially when I have to glue things together. This works very, very well. And is not very complicated to put together. Okay, that's over there. Let's put these ones back. Good. Now, since we were here, let's see quickly. In here I have the voltage switch, so that's my other part of electricity checker. So this is the DC checker, so everything I need to check in a DC system, batteries and stuff like that, to see if they are charged, if they need more charge. If you are not familiar, Google PC Doodle voltage switch and you'll find plenty of information about it. This is something I use way more than the screwdriver here, so this is why this lives permanently here in my Leatherman. Yeah. Now, that being said, we'll move to the accessory kit, and here I have more items. I have some spares Omega springs for when I'm carrying a Benchmade as my daily knife. I have the wire cutters, a spare pair of wire cutters for the Leatherman Arc. They used to have some problems at the beginning. Mine was one of the first out there, but they didn't break yet, so I just have the spares with me just in case. Then I have here some latching needles. I found this to be very handy when I have to grab something, especially lots of the time a sink may get clogged with animal or human hair. This is easy to kind of insert in there, especially in combination with this thing. So if I want to go all the way down in the sink to remove the clog, this will be a game changer, because I can fit it through the holes in the sink, and I don't need to dismantle everything. Yeah, so also good for reaching for other things and do other stuff with them. I found that I used them quite a lot, but that came with experience, and once you have them, you'll find ways to use them. Another brush, this is also magnetic, so if I need to pick something, especially a screw that's not behaving properly, this will help me to do that. Also, again, in combination with this little guy, because I can clamp here, and then I have more reach to grab that screw or part that fell. Yeah. Also this, if I need to thread needles, this is a needle threader as well, so will help with that as well. Then the 711 ratchet driver. So when it comes to combinations, this may be very nice to use either like this, I have just a bit more handle there, or I can use it like that, and I have this at the end here, and now I have quite a long ratchet that I can really grip. Now I'm not sure this head will withstand too much force, but if you use common sense you should be fine. Also, if I need to put it in the other way around, if I need to have faster use with both ratchets at the same time, it works very quick. So they are designed in my kit to work together in different combinations to allow me to achieve my goals when I'm doing some repairs. Again, impact resistant bit driver, it's always there. The Philips one, the most commonly used. I also have in here another Philips, a bit longer for recessed screws. I didn't find the need to take a full kit of them with different varieties just because this is the most common one I tend to encounter, so I found that for the moment this is enough. If I will find that I need more, then I will take more with me. Also in there were some Allen keys. These are T68 for most pocket knives, they are the ones used. This is an adapter for the mini bits, the 4mm. I have it just in case I need, I have a need to put more torque on a mini bit, and usually those screwdrivers are pencil design and you cannot put too much force on them. It's just like having something like this. So if I need to, then I can adapt those bits to my system, and with this I have more than one way to put torque on things. A T9, so if you carry any multi-tool or knife, it's my opinion that you should be carrying with you tools for adjustments or dismantling, just in case you need to do that. So something like this will be perfect for the Leatherman, especially if at any point in time, for any reason, I need to remove the file to sharpen my knife. I'll have the T9 there. I take this off and I can use it for my knife. And then here I have the scalpel holder. This can also live in here if I decide at one point that I have more use, and then I will take this away and put it in the little box here. But and the blades are on the very bottom of my little box there. So this is one other thing that lives in here. Then I have my all system. Let's see what else is in here. Some pieces of wire. I use these for omega springs. I use them for other things. I can improvise a pocket clip like that if I need to in a pinch. So they have multiple use for me, so I tend to keep them always in here. Okay, is there anything else? No. And now let's see quickly. So the all goes like that in there, and this may secure it, and then I have it if I need to do some repairs on any seams, on backpack, on shoes and stuff like that. I have actually a working hole there. I have a video about that as well. And then I have just an extender for a flat screwdriver if I need more reach. This is the one that comes with the Leatherman mat, I believe. So another Phillips and a slot driver that can reach in recessed areas. And finally, these little guys, which are my components that will allow me to use a jigsaw blade in my Leatherman arc using the bit kit there. So actually it needs to go like that, always on this part there, and then it will be secured in position with a spring here. And I will need, where is it, a mini bit kit or something to pull on it. Well, it was just here. Anyway, I use this and it will go in there. So now I have a jigsaw blade on the Leatherman. And yeah, that will be if I need to do like detailed work and go around in a piece of plywood and stuff like that, or if I need to use to cut metal. I have the metal saw there, and pretty much I have other blades than the Leatherman comes with, so to give me more options. So that will be the content of my tool pouch. Now on Leatherman I have some other modifications as well. To make it a bit more comprehensive tool. So it will be, I have a chisel on the can opener, and also I rounded up the inner part there for a hook, so if I need to grab something and put some force into pulling, I have that tool to do that. Then I sharpened the tip of the saw into a chisel. I have a video where I explain why I did that. Then this is unmodified, this is unmodified. Here I modified this to accept a bit, because I believe Leatherman missed that opportunity. It may come handy sometimes. I used it once, but once you used it once, you may find reason to use it another time. And then you have already seen this guy here. I rounded up a bit, I grinded up a bit the interior to allow me to insert a screw there, so that I can attach the bigger saw blade if I really need to go big. And I have planned some other modifications on it as well. And as far as the chisels are concerned, these are from a full set of detailed Japanese chisels. I took the handles from them and I use just the chisel's blade, and usually they will go in here with any, most of the times will be with Phillips bit or something like that, and just to secure them, and they'll go together in there. Let's see which side up. this one, it was a thinner bit then. Let's see. I have so many, I started forgetting about how are they supposed to operate sometimes. Yeah. Or maybe it was, no, it was with this part, I believe. Yeah, they were working with that part in there, and this will allow me to use them as a chisel. But anyway, so there are options. You have some options. It's a quite comprehensive kit for an everyday carry. You can do a lot with it. Now, if I'm in need for more work, I have my supplementary kit. So just a big idea design crescent type of wrench, and then one of those universal sockets up to 14 millimeters. I have the more comprehensive bit kit that usually goes with my other Nipex Cobra. I also have 2 magnets in there, so these are a kit again. And then I have more UV resin, and then I have my mini bolt cutter in here, and then I have my twin grip, which is very useful when you have to grip on round items like nails or screws and stuff like that. When you have this in there, it's secured, so you can really grip that. I really love those pliers. And then just another pencil, a level, which is very well nested in the tag here, and some duct tape, which is always handy to have, plus a piece of shrink tube that's keeping all together. And in the back I have some tape for plumbing that's adhering to itself. I don't use that a lot, and yeah, that stays in there. I won't take it out because it will be too complicated to put it back. So that's it. That's with my tool kit for an everyday carry. And yeah, I hope I gave you some ideas. If you have questions, feel free to ask. If you wanted to see more details for some modification I've made, look in my other videos. Most likely you will find there all the modifications I have on the Leathermans or the Charge TTI or other tools. So hope you enjoyed it and find it useful. I wish you guys a nice day.